As expected, the injectors that came out of this car tested very poorly. So we went ahead and rebuilt them, installing brand new Monarch nozzles. Now we're ready to install the set back into the engine. Before we do that though, I'm going to check the torque on the pre-chamber collar nuts. If you don't tighten the pre-chamber collar nuts now, it's very likely you'll have injector fuel leaks later on. Always install new heat shield washers when replacing your fuel injectors. Tighten them down smoothly by hand first. And when torquing them, always use the proper torque setting. If you do over tighten the injector, it can cause leaks and poor performance. Here's a tip I use when installing the fuel injector return hose. Place a small amount of oil or transmission fluid on the end of the hose to help aid getting it onto the nipples. Sometimes you'll have to push or twist, but never use a tool when installing this hose. And finally, when installing the injector return hard lines, make sure you start every fitting by hand before you torque any one of them down permanently. Here's a list of everything I've done on this car to date. We've done the valve adjustment and compression test, rebuilt the injectors and installed Monarch nozzles, installed a new thermostat, did a modulator change on the transmission and adjusted the transmission to shift properly. We repaired the door locks that required the replacement of 2 door actuators. And finally, we went after the oil leaks. This engine had some bad ones, very typical of what you see on a lot of these 300Ds. We had a very bad oil leak at the oil filter housing and installed a new gasket. The lower oil cooler line was leaking and we replaced that. And finally, we replaced the seals on the turbo outlet drain tube, and that's a real common leak on the 300 turbos. At least for now, we're done with this one. I hope that the owner's happy with all the work we've done, and I hope you've learned something along the way on how to get your diesel to start and run properly. Let's roll it out of here now and see if this thing's going to start. Well, it's the moment of reckoning. After all this work we've done, let's see how this engine's going to start. Whoa! What a difference! Listen to this engine run. Can you believe the difference? Let's check out the exhaust. Now, if you're a diesel owner, this is music to your ears. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time. Not into Mercedes? Don't like old diesels? Maybe you find this video a little boring? Well, don't give up. I have plans for many new videos coming soon. You cannot miss How to Cook the Perfect Egg by Kent Bergsma.